Hi everyone, I'm Cloud. Between October and November 2024, I went from a complete beginner in finance to developing my own method of financial astrology analysis through self-study. I named my method the Messier cycle. I've never read a single book on financial astrology or taken any courses. Yet, by the end of November, I had already started making my first cryptocurrency predictions. All my forecasts are recorded on my YouTube channel, and to this day, I've published over 200 episodes. If you're interested, feel free to check out my past videos. So far, my predictions for Bitcoin and Ethereum have been very accurate over the past 7 months. Here's a brief summary of some key highlights. On December 3rd, 2024, in my very first video, I accurately predicted that Bitcoin would rise to 104,000 and 109,000 in December. On January 1st, 2025, I predicted that Bitcoin and Ethereum would reach new highs in the first half of the year, specifically on either May 18th or May 30th. This was based on the end of the Rahu and Ketu sign transitions. The reason for giving 2 possible dates was due to discrepancies in computer and mobile astrology software. On April 8th, I also reminded everyone that the market would begin a slow upward trend after April 13th, when Venus ended its retrograde, leading up to the highs in mid or late May. I also repeatedly emphasized that as long as Ethereum could break through my resistance line, it would go to 2,400 or even 2,800. When I gave my final update in April, Ethereum was still hovering around 1,800. I said that even if Ethereum were going to zero, it would still hit 2,800 before that happens. The key retracement low before Bitcoin and Ethereum reached their highs occurred between April 7th and 9th. I gave a Bitcoin range of 74,000 to 75,000 and Ethereum around 1,390 with just a 0.1% margin of error. You can check my shorts daily updates for proof. Then, during the February 27th, 2025 flash crash, I gave the most accurate low prediction online. The wick went down to 78,258, and I had predicted a range of 78,200 to 80,030. At the time, the internet was saying the low was around 83,000. Another very accurate wick prediction was on February 3rd, 2024, when both Ethereum and Bitcoin experienced sharp drops. I had foreseen signs in Ethereum, but unfortunately only gave a target of 2,450 that day. However, Bitcoin's wick was off by just 165 points, only a 0.1% error. There were a few other smaller moves I won't go into, but the most recent example was the extreme volatility between June 13th and June 17th. On June 13th, in my daily report, I gave advance notice that the prior trend would end by the 15th, and that we should expect a rebound. On June 16th, the market indeed bounced sharply and hit the first weekly target right away. I was genuinely surprised, and it made me question whether Bitcoin might actually be heading for a new high. I had previously said that the key week dates were June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, so the strong green candle on the 16th made me doubt myself. That night, while preparing the June 17th daily data, I raised the lower price range, thinking that if Bitcoin continued upward, it wouldn't drop again. Also, during this time, Bitcoin was hovering around 107,000, and I couldn't get a clear read on its direction. Even before bed, it was still fluctuating around that level. But on the morning of June 17th, I woke up to see that the market was extremely weak. The levels I had written on the 16th had completely failed to hold, so I immediately posted in my daily report that Bitcoin must not break below the June 16th low, or else it would head straight for my first downward weekly target. I also noted that these 2 days were best for intraday trading and quick responses. You can see how volatile the market has been this week. Personally, I've found the 1-minute candlestick chart most helpful for intraday moves during this period. Roughly 4 hours after I posted that reminder, the June 16th low was broken, but prices continued hovering around 104,000, 105,000. Once I saw that, I quickly followed up with an update. After breaking the low, a rebound would follow once my weekly downward target was hit. In the end, that's exactly what happened. The bottom came at 103,371, with only a 219-point difference from my target, and Bitcoin rebounded all the way past 105,000. You'll notice that the high and low deviations over these 2 days were kept within 0.1%. That's it for now. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Thank you so much. Starting next year, I'll also be analyzing the US stock market.